Hey guys, welcome back. So here we have a HP Z440 and it's a workstation. So it's got a server CPU. It's a 1620 V3 and it's got 32 gigabytes of RAM, which is DDR4. So what we're going to do is put a RX580 in there and see how well it games. So this is the RX580 that we'll be using. It's the 8GB version. It's a power color Red Devil. So we're going to stick that in there and see how well it performs. Right guys, so I've got the graphics card barely in. There's not much space there to put the cover on. Hopefully there's no issues. But the power supply itself is a 700 watt PSU. And this PSU comes with two 6-pin adapters. The graphics card itself comes with a 6-pin and 8-pin outlet. So we've directly put the 6-pin in and then had to use an adapter to put the 8-pin in. So that's how it's all set up. What I'm going to do is hopefully turn it on and it works. Right, so the RX580 is in the machine. Originally this cover wouldn't close because this was on the other side and it wasn't getting in the way of the graphics card, but all I had to do was, if it focuses in, had to just take out the steel screw and this came off, and yeah, it's all good to go now. Right, so in Task Manager, just to show you the CPU, as you can see, E5 1620 V3, memory got 32 gigs, and the GPU RX580, and it's the 8GB model. Right guys, so we're in Red Dead Redemption 2 in benchmark. I've got it set to 1080p, everything's set to low, anything I can turn off is turned off, and we're getting 100 FPS. I was expecting a little bit more because also I've got FSR 2.0 on, set to performance. However, the game does look very nice, even on low settings. It's very playable, but we are getting now about 80s, which is a little bit lower, and as the scene goes on, it does drop to 70s. But as long as it's above 60, then that shouldn't be an issue. So this RX580 is more than playable on Red Dead Redemption, and the machine that we're using seems like it's more than capable, even though we are hitting a CPU bottleneck, it appears. The CPU, as you can see, is sitting 90%, so we can do it with an upgrade to get more performance out of it. But if you're looking for something budget, then you can leave it as it is and it's more than playable. Maybe cap the FPS to say about 60, and then you should get something very playable, and crank up some of the settings, because obviously this card is 8GB, 8GB card, and we are not utilizing more than 2.5 gigs. So you can probably put the textures up and get something a bit more visually nicer, but that, you know, it all depends on your kind of preference. But as it stands, this kind of setup is more than playable, and if you're on a budget, then this should be a very decent setup for you until you can, you know, save up for a decent gaming machine. So yeah, there you have it. The benchmark is coming to an end, so I'll end it there. If you guys have any questions, write them down below. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.